Magic Robot Cowboys. That's Far Far West, a roguelike co-op shooter in early access that I've been playing through as of late, both solo and with a posse. I want to like it more, and I can't help but feel like some of these changes are like the snap of a finger or just glaring issues. Most of my thoughts will be on the core gameplay, and yes, I'm starting like they do. So the stuff I like. The atmosphere is really good. I think the Western theming is really strong, from the music to the maps chosen. That includes the ones that aren't even tropes like deserts and canyons. The moment to moment feels really good, where you've got these guns and spells, mix and match both of them together, mix with your party, and it just feels like you can coordinate and do a bunch of cool stuff. The objectives too feel good. They're more than just, hey, can we defend this one area? There are a couple more puzzles that require like timing and memory, for example. There are other like cute ones that are coordinated, where you have these little magnets that only one of the cowboys can go up and down, but the other one goes left and right. So, you coordinate together to go grab the gold. It's cute. And generally speaking, the side content is pretty good. At times it's a bit finicky. I'm not going to get into it, but, there are a few things that can make it easier to do. And for the most part, I would say the guns have a decent variety. Although I find myself gravitating to, like, the starting assault rifle and maybe the bow, just because I like using magic. But I'll get into that as well. The bad bits. I don't want to like bash on this game entirely, but there are like a few things that I just need to like let the universe know. So in this game, there are jokers. These are the little modifications and upgrades that you get throughout a mission for completing side objectives. Sometimes when you kill a mini boss, you get some. And there's like a wandering traveler, you can buy one. My issue with it is that, especially for the guns, you can see them here. Most of these are useless at the beginning. And a good number of the second tier ones require you do a secret mission, which is like, come on. It just feels so weird. It just gives off like the wrong message. I think it's cool to have some interesting jokers behind side missions, but you mean to tell me for the first couple missions I'm stuck with my weak shots do confetti? It says literally useless, or it makes chicken noises, right? Or it drops a little bit of money, or I can shoot a little bit quicker when I'm aiming. It's like it doesn't give off the right vibe. It's like it's okay to have a joke in your game, but come on. And the same can be said with upgrades. I think the first few ticks of an upgrade do next to nothing. So I'm not encouraged to add extra bits on something like lifesteal or whatever. Because even if the lifesteal percentage is super low, then the damage is super low. So I have to pick either or. I can't have both. And I get it. There's something compelling with managing 20 ticks, right? But this game rewards having super high fire rate, because some of these jokers work on hit rather than on kill. So it's just better to have that. I also think the lack of clarity is really annoying. So in the game, you have spells. They're all different elements. You can put the element on your secondary gun. You can't put it on your primary. Cool. Awesome. Thing is, why does it matter which one I put on my secondary? I realize, upon trying it, is that acid and electricity make duplicates, and then acid and fire do this like big tornado move. For the most part, it does that combo constantly. But that only works on enemies with elements. And it just, I don't see why I'm picking that, Maybe if it had a different effect on enemies, or different enemy types took different damage. You know, it's like I wouldn't know that. You'd have to tell me. As well, I think it extends to damage numbers. Damage numbers are nice for the most part. It's a good bit of like game feel. But if most of my damage is like between 1 and 10, at most like 30, I think, unless I'm using a sniper rifle, makes sense. I just don't need to see the number. I don't need to see it. It seems a bit arbitrary, in my opinion. Like that being said, I don't think damage numbers always need to be in like the bajillion digit. But some games have it for a reason. And maybe this is just to show that you're doing extra damage when you pick up jokers. The ugly bit. The big one, in my opinion, is the map. I think the map could use a few more markers. Just because, I mentioned the side content earlier, but a lot of it requires taking this thing to another location or finding a few things across the map. And it would be great if I could have a few more markers, because the number of markers I can have can only go up with the number of people I'm playing with, which is up to 4. And even then, the markers go away after a while. I'm not really sure why. I with this kind of game, I wouldn't be shy about filling the map up, especially if there are these like little secrets, like delivering cactuses, like cactus babies to parent cactuses or something, right? Or there's this big map that I found for this mushroom quest. And even though I'm going counterclockwise on the map, it would be nice when I activated one of those mushrooms, right? It would mark it down, so then I would know. I think it would also add to the world building if the little landmarks had names. It would help me navigate the map, because most of the time I just get lost. Another bit is the progression. I think the Joker problem rears its head in this situation, because it's quite slow, because you need levels to equip better Jokers. And the Jokers only really get interesting at like cost 2 and above, so you really need to like a gun. And personally, I think that clashes with the tracking system. Tracking system isn't super clear. You can track one item at a time. Not one of each item, so not one primary, not one secondary, not one utility tool. One of any of these 3 at a time. And so I was stuck on 2 weapons for multiple hours because I just did notice that I was tracking something I didn't want, or wasn't tracking the same thing. So it just compounds more, especially when you get a new gun. You don't get it to the fullest because it's at level 1. And your level 1 Joker is the useless ones, right? For your hero Jokers, your character can equip Jokers as well. It's okay. You know, it's a little bit better, which makes it more annoying when the gun ones suck. It's really weird, in my opinion, that gambling makes the game interesting. Usually I'm okay with that. Bad habits aside, really. It's just that gambling for Jokers, so you can reach the high rarities at a lower level, just makes the game more interesting. Like I unlocked 2 jumps, so I maximized my speed and jump height, so I could just glide across the map. That was infinitely more interesting. And the fact that I had to play hours of this game, hours, to just buy it because I wanted it, is a little bit crazy. On the same note, sort of, same thing, right? The guns as well. I mentioned fire rate being really strong, so sniper and bows and maybe the boomerang, I haven't unlocked it. Boo-hoo. If you happen to like those, too bad. I mean, I tried to make sheriff stars work, and it was grim, you know? I like playing spells, and their cooldowns are so high, which is fine. I get it, right? They're quite strong. But at the same time, you know, I'm nerfing my health for better cooldowns. Cooldowns that are more compelling, because I have to wait 2 minutes to cast some spells. Some like spells? Spells? And it's just so strange. And, you know, I'm losing so much health before I even upgrade it. As well, like, secondary weapons. So I mentioned the element mixing beforehand. But the only 2 secondary weapons that can do like an elemental combo without needing an enemy to be alive is the bow and the dual revolver. I personally think all of the secondaries should be able to like leave a little puddle that does a combo. I think it's just more compelling that way, because the game also feels like my primary gun is the damage gun, and the secondary gun, I use it because I ran out of ammo. And I want to make utility. I want it to be both be compelling, because I have like, what, 40 seconds of downtime before I'm casting my magic spell again. To be fair, I think I've already been mentioning a few changes, but sort of to put it neatly at the end of the video, I would say outlining what the elements will do will be good. Do they do X, Y, Z? What did they do when they mix together? Don't be shy about it. It's what's interesting about this game. You know, don't keep it away from me because you feel like I'm, you know, maybe too stupid or it's too much information. I would consider as well jokers with a little more oomph in early play. For the first few levels, you really want me to smile when all my gun does is this annoying chicken sound effect. Or, you know, fucking confetti. It's like such a slap in the face, almost. And it's like it wants me to think it's a funny joke. I didn't find it that funny. I mean, I still like the game. Final thoughts, really. I still like the game, but I can only like it so much. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people feel that way right now, or in a bit, as they get their hands on the game and as they continue to play it. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, I think. It does a few things that are interesting. Like the Risk of Rain style like mystery on some maps is well done in the secret missions, and even like the quest lines with the NPCs that you do every mission. That's good. But it's really hampered down by some really tiny changes, or just, you know, a big overhaul that would really make this game feel better.